Hello, everyone. Hello. So we are live. Thank you very much for joining this time's live stream. I'm Xiao, and this is.
And my name is Mikkel. And today we have something really special planned for you. We are live streaming from 3 different locations all at once. We are sitting in a restaurant up on a mountain called South Mountain.
On the bank of Yangtze River, there is like a hills here, and there is a nice, lovely restaurant like we are sitting in. That we have very nice view back of us, like the Yangtze River, but it's kind of a little foggy.
It's a little foggy.
Yeah, but it's very nice place to see here actually. Yeah, so we live stream from here, and we are also joined by our friends and colleagues that they are now they are outside in 3 different locations. So one is in.
We have our colleague James, who is in Sijiko Ancient Town, which is here in Chongqing City. We have another colleague of ours, Echo, with a local from Chengdu. It's called Wide and Narrow Street in English.
Quanzai Alley,
Alley,
in Chengdu, and also of course like it's our honor to also later present you like Noelia from Mexicanos in China also joined the live stream from her place. So actually the topic of today is like we set it as tales of 2 ancient towns, right? So that's the 2 ancient towns is the place we are going to explore and. Both one is in Chongqing, the Sijiko ancient town, and another Quanzai Alley is in Chengdu. So we will follow our reporters who are on the spot to show you the very interesting, charming ancient towns like in China, like that.
Yes. Let's bring up one of our first colleagues. So we're going to switch to James, who is with us from Sijiko. Let's put him up here. And sorry. We have everyone on the screen here. Let's just do this. Everyone is on the screen at once. James, can you give us a short self-introduction about who you are and where you are at the moment?
No problem. So I'm James from iChongqing. So it's a pleasure to see everybody again on one of our latest live streams. Today, I'm at the old town of Sijiko in Chongqing. Now, Sijiko is one of the oldest and most historically prosperous areas of Chongqing. So the history began about 1,000 years ago, but this heyday was around 300 years ago, because as we've talked about before on iChongqing, there was a time of history called Huguang Fields Sichuan. So there was a time in history where the population was very low. And to encourage people to move here, the emperor invited people to come and stake their claim to some land in Sichuan. And it was around that time that the product of porcelain was introduced here in Sijiko, and that really fueled a very prosperous industry for the best part of about 300 years. Then a bit later, during the Second World War, as we know, Chongqing became the provisional capital of China, and at that time, a lot of people moved into the district where Sijiko is, because Sijiko is in a district of Chongqing called Shapingba. So around the time when Chongqing was the provisional capital of China, there were a lot of scholars and a lot of educational institutions and also a lot of government agencies moved into the city, into the district here. And around that time, perhaps Sijiko reached its peak in terms of commerce and also culture as well. But after that time, when the capital moved back to Beijing, the purpose of Sijiko changed a little bit, because for many years the commerce of Sijiko was not only based on the porcelain, but also on the convenience river routes as well, because the Jialing River passes right by the town here, so it was also very convenient for transport. But really, since those times, Chongqing has become a major tourist destination in Chongqing. And as we see today, on any given day, you can find the streets packed with people from not only Chongqing, but from all over China. So over the next hour, I'm really looking forward to showing our audience what there is to see here.
That's
Sounds
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Yeah, James is our reporter, and he now is in Sichuko ancient town, right? It's very nice background information just now James shared with us. And now it comes to Eiko. Eiko now is in Huanzhai Alley in Chengdu with a local reporter from Chengdu as well, Vivi. Yeah, let's say hello to our audience, Eiko and Vivi.
Hi everyone. Hi, this is Echo from iChongqing. Nice to meet you again. I hope everyone is doing okay. And today I'm in Huanzhai Alley with my friend Vivi, who is a girl, very beautiful girl from Chengdu. And can you say hi to our audience, Vivi?
各位大家好，我是来自封面新闻的 Vivi。今天呢也非常高兴和荣幸能够和我们的 Echo 一起来参与到此次的一个联动直播。今天呢我会更好的带大家来了解我们成都的宽窄巷子。
Yeah, Vivi says hi to everyone. And so basically, Huanzhai Xiangzi, which is called, also has a name called a wide and narrow alley, are now a top attraction in the city with foreigners, visitors, and locals. So it consisted of wide alleys, narrow alleys, and whale alleys, arranged in parallel with a group of courtyards. So back to Xiao, and I will introduce you the information about this great area with Vivi under Vivi's guide. So Xiao, back to you.
Thank you, Eiko. Thank you very much, and we can't wait for more like interesting stories and more things from your side. Yeah, we'll come to you later, and of course, like we have Noelia from Mexico, China, in with us, and Noelia, hello. Can you
Hi,
give us
I'm here.
Yeah, I already saw a lot of your fans already say hello to you. Have you read the information yet?
Yeah, I got them. Hi, everyone. Hola, amigos.
Where are you joining us from today, Noelia?
I'm joining today from my city of Suzhou. This is where I live, but I've been to Chongqing before. I was in Chongqing 2 months ago. It was very nice.
Yeah, I just still remember the very nice time with you and Max all here. And I believe like you also come out some very interesting content in your Chongqing trip, right? Like 2 months ago here.
Of course. I mean, right now we are loaded with a lot of videos. Like also the content we got from Chongqing, it's a lot. And we are continuously recording, so we had to go through all the footage, and right now it's like too much, so that's why we haven't gotten out so many videos, but there's more videos coming for Chongqing.
Yeah, I just also can't wait. I've been watching and like the video about Chongqing. It's very interesting, like the detailed stories you captured, the charming things about the city is really impressive. Yeah, I hope like your fans also enjoy this content a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely been also a pleasure to have many different people visiting Chongqing and sort of then uploading and sharing their videos afterwards, because we see the city in a certain way, but all the visitors might make different kinds of videos or see the city in a different way than we do. So it's always interesting to see what other people find interesting about this place.
Yeah. So Noelia, we are very happy today you will join us together to follow our colleagues and friends on different locations of Chongqing and Chengdu. One is Sichuko ancient town. I believe you and Max has been there, right? Like when you were in Chongqing, like Sichuko town, ancient town.
Yeah, of course. We were there. We have also a lot of videos there. That was the place where I tried this, like, these like little balls of, I don't know if it's ice cream that you just,
There are a lot of different snacks you can get in many different places of the city. And Sichuko is a great place to go snack hunting.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you want to go get a variety of Chinese food, that's the place. And like a good atmosphere, very nice people, very nice environment, very beautiful architecture. That's the place.
Definitely, yeah, it's one of my favorite places in the city.
Yeah, that's
Always
awesome.
been.
So I hope today this live stream, I just really can't wait to see what Eiko and James out there are gonna show us. Let's maybe just resume some of your memories, like the 2 months ago here. Okay. So let's maybe
course.
follow. Let's give the floor to James to say what's
Sure.
going on his side. Hi,
Let's
here.
bring up James.
Yeah.
Okay, so hi Mikhail, hi Xiao. So I'm still near the main entrance of Tsuchiko Old Town, and I'm at a very popular place here, which is called the Zhong Family Courtyard. So I'm going to show you this in a moment, but I'll just give you a very brief introduction. So, and I'm going to sit next to, you can stand next to a little friend here. I'm sure I've seen lots of these characters in London as well. Can you say hello? Hello. Okay. Yeah, so the Zhong Family Courtyard. So there was the courtyard was built in around 1890, and the person who instigated the building was called Zhong Yunting, and he grew up here in Tsuchiko. But because he was a very smart fellow, he actually worked for the Emperor Cixi in Beijing. But before he returned, because he really loved the architecture there, he managed to get some local people there to make a blueprint for his own personal courtyard. And that was built here later in Tsuchiko. So this is like his private residence. So I'm going to take you on a trip inside, and you're going to see what we can find in there. And I think one of the special things inside is also a porcelain exhibition as well. And like I said, porcelain is the one product that made Tsuchiko such a prosperous destination for the past couple of centuries. So we can see outside here. So we've got this beautiful entrance here. We're going to go up the steps here, and I think one of the people here, I think is going to help take us around a little bit as well. So, 你好，这里是总家院子对吗？对的，总家院子。这方不方便让我们去参观一下嘛？Yeah. Okay, excellent. So they're going to let us go around and check the place out. So I'm going to just start in this room here. So again, here we have some porcelain exhibitions. So I'm going to show you these really close up. Yeah, and guys, can you still hear me over there?
Okay. Do you know how old these are, James?
I'm not quite sure actually. 这里的瓷器是多久以前做的吧？有清代的，这些基本上是清代以前的，清代的瓷器。Oh, okay. So the pieces of porcelain here were mostly made during the Qing dynasty. And we've got a big variety. So we've got dishes here, got cups, got big bowls. There's like a mini teacup as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, and then if we look over here, and also got some clay models over here as well.
Wow, what's that?
Yeah, these are really cool.
Wow.
They look extremely old.
But they also look super detailed.
What story is behind those sculptures?
Yeah, because Eiko just asked a very good question, just why there is like this displayed and what stories it takes. Because Tsuchiko is like over 1,000 years old ancient town, and Tsuchi in Chinese have the same pronunciation as China, like that. So these potteries, porcelains, this ancient town before like over 1,000 years ago is get very prosperous because of the porcelain making.
Yeah.
So here you can still find the stories and the sites that people was doing potteries that time.
Yeah.
And these are the pottery are kind of like already left from that time, kept very well preserved since 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Some old memories of the old ancient town for its original function.
Wow, they look all beautiful.
Yeah, the pieces of porcelain here are really nice.
Right now?
Yeah, and then next door as well, we've got a lot of.
No idea.
They're looking a little bit
Yeah.
like couplets.
Yeah, you have visited this place, I think, right? Tsuchiko ancient town when you were in Chongqing. How
Yeah,
is it?
I think I didn't have the chance to actually see this kind of pottery. and it looks very, very beautiful. Looks very, if it's very old, it looks like very, very, like it's being very well taken care of.
Sure, and in this room here, because like I said, the person who had it built was called Su Yunting, and he was like a very gifted scholar. So in this room here, on these big boards that look a little bit like couplets, he's got basically they're like words of encouragement, to get people to study very hard, very diligently. So if you could say, have a look at one of these, see if we can have a look at these one as an example.
第一次来都会看。
我们这边有一个那个讲解员，他的那个
哦，好的好的。
这样的话，他可以问咨询一下
So
他。
I think like James is just showing us because James is visiting the Zhong's courtyard. It's an old family that was there when the Sichuko ancient town was built. When that time the Sichuko ancient town was got prosperous for porcelain making, and James now is in this Zhong's courtyard.
Yep.
Right, like this place is like a big family. Got also prosperous since that time. So the family is like they making business here, and the family get rich, and then also their generations of their children also lived at the place where James is visiting. So and in ancient times also like on the walls or something, these big families they will hang some of their some doctrines or some principles that the whole family will follow. So that's what James was showing us just now. This wooden inscriptions
Yeah,
on the
inscription
wall.
plates.
Oh, so maybe it has to do something with Confucianism, like they follow life based in values, right? In certain values.
Yeah, so on all these boards here, they've got different values listed out. So, for example, in front of me, maybe I'll try to read one for you. So, 以德高为先，以和善为贵. Yeah, okay. So, it says, you should be noble of character, basically. So, of course, that's good advice. Another one, 国不兴旺，就是家难安康. Okay, so, if your country is not prosperous, it's difficult for your family to be so as well. So this room is full of all of these pieces of advice to encourage people to study hard. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next room as well, and here I've got a lovely guide with me as well. 这里也是瓷器的一个展览吧。So here.
最早期的咱们一个瓷器的一个展厅，但是这边它主要就是简单的一个展示的瓷器的一个出瓷，就咱们瓷器口最早期所产的出瓷呢，它是属于出瓷类的。
Okay, so these are porcelains among the earliest that were made here in Sichuko, and 他们也是清代的，那个清代时期的吧？ Yeah, so all of these also come from the Qing dynasty. 可能这里最著名的战利品是哪一个嘛？
最著名的一个展品。
So for example, 可是这个是什么用途的嘛？ So
就是我们经常容易吃，就比如说我们四川或者重庆它的一些榨菜类的，比如说
okay.
做一些咸菜类的比较居多。
So maybe you have an idea of what this is used for. So this is an earthen jar that is used for making pickles. So for example, 可能就像茯苓榨菜那样的。Yeah, okay. So for example, in Chongqing, the Fuling pickles are very famous. So they're put in these earthen jars and they're put in there to ferment for a length of time.
对，这是产自于咱们民国时期的。
Okay. And then over here we have
我们它这个瓷器呢，它其实我们瓷器口所产瓷器，它是原料就在咱们瓷器口，但是它的那个就原材料的一个技术类，就是来自于咱们江氏瓷器的一个家族产业。
Okay, so over here so we've got also some people here who have run some prosperous pottery businesses over here. And 这边的是不是设计师吧？是。
全部的那边有它的一个更明晰的一个划分。
Okay, so I'm going to go to the next room, and over here we're going to learn a little bit more about the history. 这个在这里有点复杂。Okay, so here we've got a big family. Yeah, okay, so we've got a big family tree over here. 这是一个家谱吧？
Wow.
Okay, so that kind of looks a bit complicated. And then here we've got lots more porcelain. So I'll show you just some of these a few moments.
Yeah, these are the kind of very old porcelain that used hundreds years ago in a family hold, I think. And some is like, of course, given to royal family as well.
Yeah.
I think these sets are maybe for like big families because it's very, like delicate and it's prized.
It was also a little bit of a special thing to have, wasn't it?
So this is like from a whole family. This like pottery thing.
啊，这里的是一个家族吧。
对，江氏所产的一个家族瓷器。
Okay, so our guide is just saying, yeah, so the porcelain that is in this exhibition room also did belong to the same family. So we did see here, we've got a big family tree here, which is a bit too complicated to go through today. But
Yeah, it is.
I suppose the pottery as well is maybe passed from generation to generation as well. 所以一般就是说，可能以前这些瓷器不会丢掉吧，可能就会传给下一代用吧。
他会自己有的，他可能会保留，但是现在的话，可能基本上看不到。他会都是就以前普遍用的一些盘碗碟勺类比较居多。
Yeah. Okay. So so the porcelain here belong to the same family. So over here we have the living quarters. So from what I can see here, these look really nice. So I'm going to take you inside and give you the grand tour. So this is the first room we're in right now. So 以前这间房间是什么用途的？
就是一个教书育人的一个地方。
Oh, okay. So this room here used to be like a classroom or a study room. So I imagine then, so Sir Zhou Yunqing, when he in his younger days would have studied here.
这上面它有一个简单的它的一个课本内容，可以简单看到。比如说这上面它有一个与人共饭不可分食，其实它是1到3年级的一个思想品德的教育。
Right. So over here, so again we got some books that he studied, and I think on these posters here, our guide is saying that these are again words of encouragement to study and also to promote, foster, positive, characteristics as well.
That's very interesting. So these are the classroom for the big family, like ancient times. That what things they are studying, right? Like the books and like the text. This is why they are where they studied, and what they studied, right? James, now you are showing us this.
Actually,
Yeah,
those
so this was
things they have on the walls that outline like the words to live by and sort of the recommendations and things to keep in mind. I've seen this in some residential communities here in China as well. Like they still have some of these things hanging in communities, how to like live a good and civilized life, I suppose.
Oh, these
Yeah,
are
that's right. Yeah, so on here we've got some photographs giving some examples of how the room would have been used. So a guide is saying in this picture here we have a student who's reciting a book that he has memorized. And then over here as well, I mean, it doesn't look like it's the same room here, but again, lots of children crowded together to learn. So next to the study room, then it looks like we have the main living quarters, and we've got one of those big traditional Chinese beds as well. So I don't know if you've seen this before, but this one is very
ornate.
Yeah, so this one is really quite magnificent. So
Yeah,
we can't get all that close, but I can stick the camera a bit closer towards the bed.
Wow, this is ancient bed, right? Like how, James, you can tell us more about the bed, what's the function, and what
Okay. And I've got something really interesting for you as well. So because can you see the picture clearly here? I mean, I hope there isn't too much glare, but we can see in this picture there's we can see there were 2 crabs and there were 2 lotus leaves. So can you imagine what the meaning of having these 2 in the same picture is?
Ooh.
Okay, so basically the Chinese word for lotus is he, and then the word for crab is xie. So he xie kind of also is a homopheme of harmonious as well. So having this on the bed, it's about having harmonious family relationships.
它这张床呢是咱们这个房间就中家院比较出名的一个主人房的一个。
You can imagine how long it must have taken
外围
to
是架了一个木罩，然后中间就是我们。
Yeah, and to clean everything is such a big deal.
And again, what's so unique as well is you have this outer structure, and then the bed is in the middle, but it's actually possible to walk all the way around the outside of the bed in there as well.
That's very interesting. Is that how Chinese beds were before? Like it had an outer structure?
This is more like more ancient ones,
Yeah.
and also usually like big families they can afford this kind of very exquisite
Oh.
ones. And this bed is like usually like a function as like a room. It's not only a bed actually. You can see there are some corridors around the bed itself. This huge bed itself is like a room, just like you
Yeah,
can
it's
see
almost
that.
like a little enclosed room where in front of the bed you would have chairs or something else where you could then sit and just pass time. So it's like this elaborate bed structure became like a mini room in itself.
So it was like a room in a room.
Yeah,
Yes.
and these are very collectible as well. And actually, we've got some family members in Hechuan who still have one as well. That's a few hundred years old. And also, everything is really nice in here. So I'll also show you the walls and the roof as well. So you can see the ceiling is really high as well. Must be a good maybe 5-6 meters, something like that.
我们每间房屋它的那个头顶上面有那个亮瓦的那个形式，就是那种玻璃瓦，它其实主要的作用是采自于采光的一个作用。
Okay, and you can see on the roof up there, they're not actually holes, so those holes are covered. But she was saying that I suppose in a building like this, it would be easy to lack, natural light. So these are kind of like skylights, if you like. So they're left free of the tiles and have the transparent covering, just so that more sunlight can get inside the room.
That's true. It's function like a light.
Yeah, it's
like
basically a
下
skylight.
来这个房间就是咱们的堂屋，
Okay, so over here, so we
my
have
house.
like a communal living room over here.
就非常正式。就比如说家庭就非常重要的仪式的话，可能基本上就在这个堂屋里面进行。
Okay, so if there's an important family event here, say in the old dynasty times, so they would all be able to congregate in here. So you can see there's a big table in the middle, also those seats put around the outside as well. And then also got a kind of an altar over here as well in front of us. So I'll give you a closer look. So you can see the candles and the incense.
I've always had a bit like I like old Chinese temples and places of worship and things like this. And it's such a funny thing because Western people like us, we don't usually have anything like this in our houses. But I guess it was fairly common and similar in older Chinese places to have like an altar or some sort of place of worship where you could remember your ancestors or
这个
something.
还有咱们比较出名的这个圆
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
very good that they were able to preserve that because otherwise we wouldn't
把
know.
它分开，靠两墙两边分放。
Okay, yeah, and this table here as well, she's saying it's also possible to split as well.
可以分开。
就可以就可以跟更多人坐下来。
还有那个就是稍微可以分开，就现在看。
Okay, yeah, so you can see here. Yeah, so this is really 2 tables in one, but I suppose when you're not using it, so you don't need that much space there, you can put them together. Okay, so we're just going to move on quickly and go to the next room. So here we have another bedroom. So 这里算是次卧吧, yeah.
对对对，是我亲爱
Okay,
的一个
so
大
this is kind of like a guest bedroom, or if you like, I suppose we saw the master bedroom just a few moments ago, but this is a smaller bedroom, maybe for children or maybe younger relatives.
James, we got an audience ask like what
这个上
dynasty
方还有
this
咱们重庆的一个典
antique
型的一个
from.
蒲扇，它其实是相当于现在的一个电风扇。
So 这些古董也是清朝的嘛。
对对对。
Yeah,
非
so
常
everything here is from the Qing dynasty, the guide is saying. And the decoration on this is really, really impressive as well. I'm going to move the camera a bit closer so you can see just how intricate these carvings are. And 这些是不是镀金的吧？
不是，它是铜。
Okay, I was just asking if the golden colored bits are actually kind of plated in gold, but you say these are made from bronze. But what I really find fascinating about these carvings is that normally you have a carving like on a wooden base, but these are kind of like 3D carvings, so they're carved all the way through. So it's kind of really difficult to imagine the skill of craftsmanship that has to go into making something like this. And you can see, so we've got the bed over there. It's a little bit smaller than the one we've just seen. And also, when you get up, we've also got the seats over here as well. 这把你以前这个是供一个人睡的吗？还是会多个？ 多个人一起睡啊。
会，他如果参加了的话，肯定是会的。
Oh yeah, so saying, I mean, I suppose one person can sleep in here, but I just asked the guide as well if, say, if the children are married, of course they can use this together. And they've got a lovely drawing table over here as well.
James, thank you very much. Thanks for give us very detailed explanation of this place. Yeah, it's like a Zhong's courtyard. I think now also from Echo side can also give some more detailed about what's going on her side, I think, right?
Yeah.
So
Let's
Echo,
travel across to Chengdu.
yeah, Echo is from Chengdu and from another ancient town. So we will just leave James a little while and then we're back to Echo.
这个树呢，是
Echo
咱们这个桂花树，它正对咱们
And
的
we
这
just
个
stay
金
with.
香当中有一个富贵当庭的一个寓意。
Now it's a top.
Sorry, you were
attraction.
muted for a bit, Echo. Can you start over?
Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Is it okay? Okay. So we are in the Quanjai Alley in Chengdu, and the Quanjai Alley is a top attraction in the city for foreigners, for visitors and locals. It consists of wide alleys, narrow alleys, and wheel alleys arranged in parallel in a group of courtyards, as I said. It is one of the 3 historical and cultural protection areas in Chengdu. This Qing Dynasty block records the old Chengdu's history. In my right side, there is a very famous spot. It's called Tying Horse Stone. As you can see, there is an ancient stone. Excuse me. There is an ancient stone like this. Yeah. This is the signal of this area, because the cultural style here has the characteristics of both Sichuan Western residential houses and northern courtyards. Because in Qing Dynasty, there are a lot of people or soldiers who come from the north in China. They have stayed here for a long time. They have house here. So this ancient stone, is for tying the horse. There is also an sculpture, antique sculpture like horse. Can you see that? Yeah, Vivi is going to
I like
touch
that
the
they have a
horse for
separate
me.
place for parking your horse. It's amazing.
给大家看一下，它也是其实是代表着，就是诉说着这边的一个历史。我们可以给大家看一下。
You can see.
Yeah， 这个也是诉说着我们成都的一个历史以及它的一个前世。然后这个的话也是经过它一个重新的打造，然后就是这个东西，这是拴马石。
Vivi is telling the story of the stone. This is the ancient one. This is the ancient one, and this is the new one, which was built in the 2008. Yes, it's for the tourists to visit. Yeah, we are in Chengdu. Hi, Iris. Hi. Say hi to our audience.
它这个拴马石其实是在成都的宽窄巷子的一个窄巷子。宽窄巷子呢，其实分为3个巷子，一个是宽巷子、窄巷子和紧巷子。那其实我们现在所在的这个窄巷子的话，它也是代表着老成都的一种就是慢生活。比如说，你可以在这边吃着我们的豆花，吃着我们的冰粉，然后再采个耳，非常闲适的一个成都的生活。
So Vivi just told us the White Alley stands for the leisurely lifestyle in Chengdu. Yeah, because in the ancient time, Chengdu is the city with wealthy. Look at this letters of Quanjai. Can you see that? They are made from porcelains, just like this product in Sichuan.
Oh, the same, right? Like it's also Quanzai Alley there, like the porcelain making was very popular, right?
Yeah. These are made from porcelains. Can you see?
Chinese characters for wide and narrow.
Yes. Yeah.
Wide and narrow alley. Yeah.
其实说到就是成都的 在成都的一个地方，其实我们的宽窄巷子也是非常具有代表性的。大家可以环顾我们四周，可以看一下，也是青砖黛瓦的一个四合院的一个设计啊。所以说也可以慢慢的在这边来感受我们成都的慢生活，非常闲适的生活。然后这边其实你不仅可以看到，在这边看到我们的美食美景，更多的还有一些美女。Yes, very beautiful street. 宽窄 alley were like 2 pedestrian streets, which are packed with food and shopping. And in here we can feel the comfortable lifestyle in Chengdu. I'm just avoiding the crowd. And here we have this we have these architectures in from Qing Dynasty, but they were like I think most visitors who came here, they said the Huanzhai Xiangzi is like an chic version of ancient China. And I agree with that because here you can see fashion, and let's see a very secret. It's like a secret ceremony kind of thing here. It's kind of intriguing. You see, behind me we have this lady behind me. Yeah. Can you guess what service she's offering? Can you guess? This is a very famous service in Chengdu. It's called ear cleaning. It's called ear cleaning.
采耳, right? In Chinese,
Yeah,
采耳.
采耳. In Chinese, 采耳.
No idea. Have you heard of that before? Like this kind of ear picking.
Yeah, I've actually experienced the ear picking, not in Chongqing, but here in Suzhou. We also go to the ancient town pretty often because we like to record our videos there, and we often go either ear picking or maybe do a massage, which is like super common in this type of areas. And like the ear picking, I found it very, very satisfying. I really liked it. But for Max, he said it was a little bit painful for him.
I have never tried the ear cleaning myself. I've actually thought about it many times. Many of my friends have tried it, but I just can't. People sticking stuff into my ears. I just
I dare not to try yet.
You should definitely try it.
Maybe have you tried before?
No, I have tried it in Chongqing, but I never tried it in Chengdu. I think I will try once here when I was in here. And we have questions from our audience asking this. So Vivian, can you explain it to us? 其实刚才我们走过的这个宽窄巷子，它是这个清末民初时候的一些街道，也是还原了这种古色古香的一些建筑。看有没有网友朋友们说对啊？是清末民初。Yes, 它是 from Qing Dynasty in China. In Qing Dynasty of China, more than 1,000 soldiers were selected to be stationed in Chengdu, and in the early years of the Republic of China, the city managers at the time changed the Hutong, which is the northern name of the area, changed the Hutong into alley. So we have the wide and narrow alley. Behind me is called 小洋楼 the famous spot in this area. 它都是一些青砖黛瓦式的一些建筑。They were like ancient tiles from Qing Dynasty. Yes. Can you hear?
I see. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Thanks for your connection. What about because Zhiqikou ancient town is since like over 1,000 years ago it was there. And what about Kuanzhai? Like how many years ago it was there already?
More than 3 years ago. More than 3 years ago. Can you hear?
Yeah, Echo. I mean, like Kuanzhai's history. How long is Kuanzhai Alley's history? Like how many years?
The history of the original street.
the original street, the history of the original street is more than like 300 years. Yes.
So still
But it was
couple hundred years back.
Yeah, but it was restored in 2008. It was reopened in 2008. So it's like
Oh, okay. So it's undergone like extensive renovations to open up to what we see today.
Yeah. It's like a nearly open street in this 20 years in China. So
Great. So Echo, can you continue to show us more? And Vivi and Echo, can you show us more about this air picking place? Because I already hear the sound,
Yeah,
right?
I can hear it in the background.
Absolutely, but there are more service like the air picking spots. So I can show you in our next stop. So I'm continuing our journey in the streets and introducing you some information about the narrow alley. Okay. As you can see, we have many vendors here selling products, selling their food, selling the souvenirs. We have Starbucks here. I think this is the first Starbucks in Chengdu's top attraction.
I remember walking past that Starbucks a couple of times myself, and it was never open. So I visited Chengdu a couple of times, walked down through these streets, seen the Starbucks, and thought, that looks cool. I want a coffee in there.
Yeah.
But it hadn't opened yet.
Look these ancient furnitures, guys. They are very yeah. They are from Qing Dynasty. Basically, we don't have much ancient stuff here. These are from Qing Dynasty, but these are newly built. Just looks like.
So these are original?
Yeah. The whole architectural style here has both the characteristic of Chengdu and the northern city in China. Because people.
Echo, the things you're looking at in the glass, are they like original pieces of architecture and furniture?
Yeah, they are. They are. But
That's
they were painted again with colors on. Can you see?
So they've restored them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look pretty good. So these are like pieces of furniture from a house as well.
Yes. They are well preserved.
I can see actually these ancient towns is now kept both the traditional historical part and as well as develop some very fashionable, integrate fashionable like the vibes inside, like shops, restaurants, and also like some very specialty shops as well. But also now have to keep the old memories as one time.
They're
Now
trying
we're
to strike a good balance between having the old traditional stuff mixed with newer sort of ways of spending your time. So not only are they creating a place where you can go and hang out, get a coffee and have dinner, but you can also then go and experience some of these older styles, the older architecture, the older culture.
Yeah. So people in Chengdu are really good at enjoy a slow life here. So Huanzhaixiang stands for that culture of the leisurely lifestyle. The tea house on the open yard. Can you see? In Chengdu everywhere. Yes. People in Chengdu everywhere, they drink tea everywhere, anytime. And they just have the time and the how to say, the lifestyle for this. I think that's kind of gift.
I think the magic about these ancient towns is that you can actually go and feel like you're experiencing China. Because talking as a foreigner, I think before I came to China, when I thought about China, everything that came to my mind was like this kind of architecture. because it's so different to whatever you can find in the rest of the world. Chinese architecture is like very, very unique. So, for example, us, when we go recording videos, we really like to go to ancient towns. It's a shame I haven't been yet to this Chengdu ancient town, but I'm really looking forward to go because I know like the one in Chongqing was also very, very nice, and you can have like a very nice experience. You can have a great time. You can enjoy a lot of things, but you can do it like in a different atmosphere. And I feel like the people that's going there, like they make the environment feel very, very lively as well. So I think that makes this place also kind of special.
Yeah, I think you're right. The architecture of China was also a major reason why I myself chose to come here. When I moved here to China about 10 years ago,
Yeah.
the architecture was definitely one of the big sort of draws that I had. It was the architecture and the history, the buildings, everything that you could see. And it's also one of the reasons why Sichuko is maybe one of my favorite places in Chongqing. I go there
nice
just to
hear
enjoy
that.
the architecture,
Yeah.
just to sort of relax and enjoy how buildings used to look. Because while so much of China is now modern and big skyscrapers and all of this, it's nice to be able to still go and see these really old parts. And I enjoy that a lot.
I
And
also,
also
I
for
also
those for those audience who just join us, we just again like this live stream, we are actually Noelia and BQ and I from
Yep.
iChongqing, we are follow two of our reporters. Both one group in Chengdu, one group in Chongqing, and both of them are visiting the two ancient streets and towns in Chengdu and Chongqing on different locations. So we are just bring them from time to time to show us what they see in Chongqing's ancient town as well as in Chengdu's ancient town.
Yeah, and of course, these two cities have a really close relationship and always sort of have had a very close relationship.
Oh yeah, there's do have a reason why we combine these two together, right? Chengdu and Chongqing, these two ancient Quantai Alley and the Zijigo ancient town together. They do have reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in Southwest China, when it comes to like the big city, mega cities, of course, Chongqing and Chengdu stand out. Absolutely. These two, we mentioned Southwest China, mega cities, these two stand out. And also these two are very close to each other. And now by high-speed train, it's only 1 hour drive to ride between the two cities. So we sometimes we want to bind these two, introduce you the two places together, because if you visit Chongqing, definitely you can visit Chengdu, or you are in Chengdu, definitely take some time to come to Chongqing. And these cities know the advantages, and under the kind of let's say how to say, it's like Chongqing Chengdu economic circle, this kind of plan. So these two cities will develop more close, and especially let's say now in the tourism part, like they try to develop some route that when you visit Chongqing and it's very convenient, and go to Chengdu to say Chengdu, of course, got pandas, like every people love that, right? And in Chongqing, the local food, the city vibe, landscapes, everything is also worth visiting. That's why today we just gave you a glimpse of that. So to bring the two cities, two places together.
There are also, like you said, many things about Chongqing and Chengdu that really go really well together. Something that we actually covered in an episode we did a little while back. While if you enjoyed the architecture of Chongqing, you would enjoy many of the older town style places in Chengdu as well. In Chengdu, obviously, you have the Panda Breathing Center, which is hugely popular. And there are certain locations and so many similarities between the two cities that if you like one city, you definitely like the other one as well.
Yeah, I also think it's totally a plan to go, like if you're considering going to one of the cities, also visit the other one. When we went to Chongqing, we were actually planning to go to Chengdu first, like just take advantage of the opportunity and just visit also Chengdu because of the situation with the virus, and like I wasn't able to travel in China since I arrived to China, so I was in China living for a year and I didn't know like a lot. I visited Xi'an and like a few more cities, but like I didn't really have the chance to see. And one of the first places I could actually visit in China was Chongqing. and actually be able to enjoy it and everything. And because if it's very close to Chengdu, and Max actually was very, very excited to go, but we finally didn't get the chance because we also wanted to go to Wulong.
Oh yeah, another district in Chongqing, right? Sometimes the
As
time
well,
is kind of not allowed. Yeah, but now if you come to Chongqing or we should do another time, like next time, just like 1 hour's high speed ride. It's so close. One day go and off. It's similar like you go to Wulong. I think it's like use just one day will be enough. Yeah, to get go and back if the time is limited.
Yeah, I know. I think there's not even a high speed train, I think, to Wulong yet, because it's like a district, right? So
yeah, it's
but
still a little bit of a slow process going to Wulong.
Yeah, but it's okay. Like it's cool that Chongqing and Chengdu have like such a small time gap between each other. You can travel easily between these two cities. It's very convenient to visit both of them. And I'm completely sure that Chengdu is also amazing. I think you can also be able to listen about Chengdu when you go abroad. It's also a very famous city. So
yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So, Noelia, maybe also we will take the floor now to our reporter James in Zichikou ancient town. Yeah, to see what he seems to find something. Yeah.
Great.
Sorry, James. There we go.
Okay, yeah. So, it's great to be back. So on my right here, there's a place that's I really love in Zichikou. Because like Mikel, over the years, I've been here like many times. I've loved the architecture and the vibes here. So if you come here and if you're really interested in traditional Chinese performances, this is definitely something where you can come and watch it. So I've just talked with the owner here and some of the workers, and they said it's okay to go inside and show you about. I'm just going to quickly show you the street first to get an idea of how vibrant it is at the moment. So I've got a really good crowd going at the moment. So that's where you're heading northwards towards the Jialing River. Over there is towards the entrance where I came in. So you can see the entrance of the performance hall. Over here we can see one of the people grabbing people's attentions. So they're just kind of like in Chinese traditional Beijing opera. So what we're going to do, we're going to take you inside to the things I really enjoy about it. And of course, they've got all of the, even like the small details here. So here we've got the door gods here. So maybe Xiao, maybe you're very familiar with what the door gods are for. Okay, so the door gods are there basically as a way to, I suppose, scare away bad spirits, and also they bring you good luck as well. So here, kind of the main entrance with the jewel couplets down on them.
I love how these old buildings are so colorful.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I get it, and it's not only like the walls, the floors as well. I mean, look a bit higher up, look at the ceilings as well. Even the ceiling decoration or the lamps as well are really beautiful. So there's actually a performance going on at the moment. So just see if it's okay to have a quick peek inside.
Well, it's nice. It's a kind of opera place or traditional performance place in a Zichikou ancient town.
Okay, so I'm just going to start here. So you can maybe see in the distance there's a performance going on. So they have lots of different kinds of dance performances. They have the mask changing performances. These are performances I really love. And oh yes, it's inviting me to go and sit down. And as you can see inside, you'll have all the traditional seating as well. If you want to be a bit posher, you can go upstairs as well. So you've got some of these private booths as well. And you can order traditional Chinese tea, and also really tasty, nice Chinese food as well. So if you're coming through here, I mean, if you don't have time to maybe watch a real Beijing opera, you can come in here, maybe watch the performance. It lasts maybe about 1 hour, something like that. So they really give you a set of highlights that you can see in one of these traditional performances. So this is definitely something I would recommend if you're around here in Zichikou. Over on the side as well, we have another exhibit. We have a traditional, it's a kind of zither. I can't remember the Chinese name for it. But I'll come and give you a closer look. But during the performance, they also bring one of these onto the stage, play it for the audience.
Oh, it's like the ancient instrument, Chinese traditional instrument.
This one isn't a guzheng, right? A guzheng has more
it's
strings.
Guqin. It's called
Guqin.
another name, Guqin. Yeah, guzheng has more lines, strings here.
Yeah, and they also have another kind of instrument. Last time I came to watch here, last time I came here to watch a performance, they had another instrument which was called a dulcimer, which I've never heard of before. But it's kind of like a zither, but it's a bit bigger. It's kind of like a little square-shaped table. And instead of plucking the strings with the fingers, what they have these kind of like drumsticks, or kind of a bit like the hammers you would get inside of a piano, something like that, and you can actually hit the strings with them. So also here, you don't only get the performances, but the dance performances, but you also get some like very old, traditional instruments as well. So this is a really good, cultural experience that you can gain here in Tsuchiko. So this is definitely something I was very keen to show our audience today.
Yeah,
James, I know you've lived in Chongqing for many, many, many years. Have you seen any of these performances yourself?
Oh yes, actually, I've seen the performance here a few times in the past. Maybe the last one was maybe about 2 years ago, something like that. But it's really good. I think last time I came in the summer, because it was really hot, so I could. 至少有几千人在在观看
Hello.
Yeah, nice ladies are jumping to say hello. Hello.
Yeah. So
Lovely.
the people working here, they're very hospitable. So last time I came here was during the hot summer. So kind of to get away from the heat, I came inside and enjoyed some Chinese tea.
Yes, enjoy the performance and tea things. That's very nice. Yeah, thank you, James. That's quite cool.
So to say, they're very hospitable here. The last time at the end of the performance was maybe late afternoon, it was a little bit cooler. It was much nicer to kind of go out onto the street and explore what there is to see here. So this is one of the big performance halls. But as you can see, if I show you down the street where I'm walking now, the variety here is really amazing. You can see something different everywhere you're looking. So over here as well, we've got people who are kind of making kind of old implements in a traditional way.
There's some craftswomen are making some, like some decoration things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these handcraft things. Many of these shops and stalls in Tsuchiko. Almost anywhere you walk, you can see people banging away on silver.
These are silver, right?
Yeah.
Silver.
Wow.
These are very delicate, very expensive.
England. Yeah, so she'd say these implements here are actually made from silver, so you're spot on. And then if you just go on to the next shop over here, we can see a kind of traditional noodle as well. So we can see here how he makes it. And like you see in some other old towns as well, sometimes the workers outside, they give you like a little performance of their own as well, to kind of attract the customers inside.
Yeah, they are standing out the restaurant to, try to, to get. That's quite interesting, James. This man is what he's doing.
Oh yeah, I have a video of this guy.
You know Noelia? You saw him when you were there, right?
Yeah, I saw him with. Yeah, it's very characteristic from ancient towns. Find people from like calling the attention of people to come into the stores and the shops.
Yeah.
And yeah, these are very
right?
different. These are very different kind of shops you can find in actual city. These are not traditional. But it's funny because in Suzhou we also have like like the silver shop where there's like the guy with the hammer. But I never knew what that was because I've never been inside the shop. So it's good that I'm actually learning from the ancient town of Chongqing what it is.
Good. Yeah, I saw in Quantai Alley, Echo Vivi side. Let's see what's happening there. I saw Vivi was like some dessert in her hand.
Oh, food.
Wow.
Hello,
Hey guys, can you hear us?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure. Show us what is it. Yeah.
Oh, I was just away from the pot. Vivi is enjoy the local food here. It's a traditional Chengdu food. It's called 三大炮. In English, it's called like three cannons.
它其实也是属于就是八大菜系，是我们川菜的一个其中，它包含在我们川菜菜系里的这个，也是属于我们的川菜。
So it's a specialty from Sichuan cuisine. It's made from rice and sugar and brown sugars, right?
它是有糯米，然后还有这个黄豆粉，然后还有这个红糖组合而成，还会在上面加一点花生粒，还有这个山楂粒。
It's kind of dessert. Does it taste good?
Yes, delicious.
她说很好吃. She said it's very delicious.
I can feel that something sweet, nice dessert like that.
So in Huanzhai Alley, we have multiple kinds of traditional food here. I would want to show you this one called 糖油果子, right?
糖油果子，它是由那个也是由糯米还有这个红糖和芝麻组合而成的，是一种油炸的一款。
It's like fried dumplings, rice dumplings with brown
fried
sugar.
dumplings. Yeah.
它的口感是比较软糯的。
It tastes very soft. And we have this. You must see this, guys. This. Can you see? Can you guess what it is?
What is what?
Wait.
Duck heads.
It's I know it. No idea. Can you
rabbit head.
guess?
Yeah. Actually, it's rabbit's heads, spicy rabbit's heads. Look at this. It looks very red, but it's not that spicy.
When I brought my parents to Chongqing a couple of years ago, we saw a shop on the street that also sold these. And my mom, she just turned her head and looked at it. She's like,
其实吃这个主要是吃它的一个味道，非常
It was the same for me, but I didn't see it like actually in the ancient street. I saw it like in the middle of Chongqing in some street food market. There was like this cart with the rabbit head, and I was like, "What is that?" And I asked, of course, the lady, because I've never seen anything like that. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things in Mexico, but you don't go walking on the street and you find like 20 rabbit heads just standing there looking at you, you know? And you're like, oh my God, she's looking at me.
You know, this is very diverse. Like the snacks along the street, I mean, like in China, in Chongqing, Chengdu, there are so many things that you can choose to eat. You know, like snacks.
So many different things. They have
It's
all
also
kind
one of
of
the
flavors.
It's one of the things about being in China is that over time you may be sort of adverse to trying some of the new things you can see. Like I've eaten so many things in China that I would have never eaten back home. And if anyone offered it to me, I would have been like, yeah, no thanks. But here, once you get into the culture a bit more and you're brave enough to sort of taste these things, you realize how much you've been missing out on because there's just so much delicious stuff to have.
So, Mikhail, you will never try the rabbit's head, right?
I've actually never tried the rabbit's head. I've eaten a lot of stuff that I would never have eaten back home. The rabbit's head I have yet to try.
Yeah, you definitely gotta try this because Vivi just told me it tastes very good and it goes well with wine.
With wine? Interesting.
Yeah.
With wine.
Yeah.
So do they also say about...
Pick up a bottle of wine and then just walk down to Snack Street and pick up a rabbit head.
Yeah, with wine.
Yeah, like,
with wine on your head. On your hands. So we are still heading towards the whole area of the Huanzhai Alley. What next? We have more.
Noelia, what is some crazy Chinese food you've eaten while you've been here?
Me.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Crazy Chinese food. I mean, I think I think I haven't eaten like anything crazy. I've been always very, very picky. But I mean, like, it doesn't mean like when the craziest Chinese food, also the most delicious Chinese food I've ever tried is the Chongqing hot pot. Like,
Ooh,
it's
a little shout out to our local hot pot right there.
insane. Yeah. I have craving it. I have been craving it so much since I came
Because I
back
know
to
that
school.
myself, when I had it the first couple of times, my stomach wouldn't really take it.
Well, I'm used to it a little bit, like to the spicy flavor and the spicy, kind of feeling. Because in Mexico we eat a lot of spicy food, but I don't know, like the spiciness of Chongqing, it's got something. It's got something.
Is it hard to find something like that? Like, can you get hot pot where you are or where you live now?
You can get it. You can find a few places where they have like Chongqing hot pot, but like there's no hot pot. Like if you go to Chongqing and have hot pot, there's nothing like that.
I lost connection.
And like crazy food that Max has eaten, I haven't eaten a lot of stuff, but Max has eaten, I think, like chicken's head, and he's also tried like the pig's brain. He found it very, very tasty, actually. So it's the craziest thing she's tried here, because we haven't eaten that back home ever. But yeah.
Echo, what's going on over there? Someone getting their ears cleaned?
They're picking.
Yeah. I thought you guys want to see this.
I look at that and it's like I can feel something in my ears. I know it's just my earphones, but I can definitely feel something like it.
You just have to relax and sit down and just relax. And I don't have to care about anything. Just give it to the 师傅, master of the picking ear.
I think I might
James,
go.
have you had your ears
I might go soon to their picking.
Yeah, this ear picking, that's long.
That's right.
I just need it in my life.
Vivi just told the process of the picking ear. It will last for 10 minutes. You have to rest. You have to rest and relax.
Yeah, it's a good way to relax.
Now we are in narrow alley, so we can see multiple vendors here selling products. Yeah, it's like a small market. You see specialties. So I think compared to Chico, the wide narrow alley is more like a commercial pedestrian street.
Yeah, a lot of these older places, I think in an attempt to preserve them, but also to make them viable, they've sort of developed them into these tourist attractions that also become a place where you can not only go and see all these old things, but also just hang out, grab coffee, have food at a restaurant. So it gives you a reason to come and see these things. And then while your main purpose may have been to go and buy something or get something to eat, you then learn more about the culture and the history a little bit by accident because you just happen to be walking past it.
Yeah. Oh, seems James' place. Let's check to James' place. Seems he got something very interesting going on his side. Let's hand the floor to James.
Okay, yeah. So I've walked around the 100 meters or so down the street, and I've passed so many interesting things. Two things that really stuck out as well is also there's something called Thai art, which is very popular in these places. So there's a very traditional skill, which is kind of like ear cleaning. So what they do, you lie down, you relax a little bit, and then they stick this kind of like a little wooden stick in the ear. It kind of like touches your eardrum, and they kind of like rub off, they kind of scrape off the earwax, and then they round it off with something really interesting. They have like one of these little tongs which they can hit, and then it vibrates, and again they kind of push it against the stick, and it gives us this kind of really nice kind of tickling sensation against your eardrums. But I've seen lots of those places on this walk through here. I remember before there weren't so many of these places, but they seem to have really caught on. But I'm at right now I'm at a place which has probably existed like the longest in my memory, because I first came to Tsuchiko in about 2003. This place here, which is called Chongqing, Mahua, I think it's like one of the most famous places, one of the most famous snacks of Tsuchiko. I remember this place was here 17 or 18 years ago when I first arrived. So again, these are kind of traditional biscuits that are made here, and over the years they've kind of tried to innovate a little bit and introduce a lot more different flavors. So I think this one here is like the original flavor. So this is like the original flavor. So I'm going to give this a go. Well, as usual, they're very nice. Let's over here, they have lots of different flavors. Yes, so this one. Maybe these ones are made from the glutinous rice. But then we have like the normal biscuits but with different flavors. So this one's with the mala, so this one's like a bit spicy. So inside there should be there's some chili powder. You've got some chocolate flavored ones. This one's mixed with honey. These with like 5 spices. And over there, these maha biscuits are mixed with like seaweed. So I'm going to try one of these. I'm really tempted. Yeah, so we've got the chocolate one here, so we're going to give this one a go. So whenever I come through here, then I always pick a bag of these maha biscuits. But then this brand is actually quite famous, so even if you go to like a normal supermarket in China, you can find their brand of maha biscuits. But I suppose the advantage of buying them here is that they're made fresh. So usually they put them in the back of the stalls here, and when they're ready, they just kind of empty them out into the stalls here, and you can buy them and take them away with you. There are lots of other like famous snacks here as well. So a few minutes ago, I was at one of those Chinese zodiac, toffee figure stalls as well. So you can tell the stall owner what your zodiac sign is. So for example, I was born in the year of the monkey. But also, if you want to have a bit of fun, there's also one of these spinning wheels as well. So you spin the wheel, and whatever zodiac sign, whichever zodiac animal it lands on, they can make one for you there and then. And again, it looks very simple, but I bet it's actually a really skilled trade that you have to learn to be able to do that here. And so I've moved on a little bit. So down this way, there are lots more snack stalls. There I can see some more maha biscuits. Other things here, we've got people doing caricatures. Over there, we've got the stinky tofu. We've got the strange tasting horse beans. A bit further, I can see some old cafes as well. And I think that's one new innovation here as well in Tsuchiko. I remember when I first came here in 2003. Really, it was just the original residents in here. But maybe about 10 years ago, maybe before that, maybe a lot of those kind of moved away. So now you have a lot of these outside stalls that have come and moved in. But one of the new things they've started doing as well to kind of appeal to younger people is that they've opened up a lot of these alternative style cafes as well. So young people can go in there, they can try the coffee, and also enjoy the atmosphere, have a nice place to sit down, watch the people walking by. So if I'm right, there should be a few more a little ahead here. So we're kind of reaching kind of the northern end of Tsuchiko. So if you keep on going, you get to the Jialing River. If you turn left up here, we're not going to view in a moment. There's the famous temple. So there's actually a temple here in Tsuchiko which is older than the old street itself, called Baolun-si. So yeah, Baolun Temple. And this temple has been here for about 1,500 years. And I can't remember the name of the person offhand, but about 1,500 years ago, there was an emperor whose I suppose whose throne was usurped, and he was forced to live here. Okay, so I've got a good view here. I'm going to turn around the camera and show you Balwin Temple just behind me. It's really quite spectacular, and I'm sure like Mikhail has taken plenty of photographs of this before. So can you see it in the background?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. Photographed that temple from all perceivable angles.
Yeah, I've seen you do a lot of photographs.
Yeah,
of
because
Chongqing
Chongqing is not only just a street; it's a town.
Yeah.
Many people, residents, already still live there, and there is like a temple, ancient temple, just next to the ancient street here. James is working out.
Yeah. So, but over here around Balwin Temple, there are other like traditional things you can do. We've got some interesting stories as well. I mean, I've been up here myself around Chinese New Year's, and we've burned some incense candles and all that. Because my wife likes to do that sometimes. She says it also brings us good luck for the new year. But also remember around the corner, in the past, there were some fortune tellers as well. And I remember before we got married, we actually went to one of the fortune tellers here. And he could have read our palms, and ask the exact date and time of our birthdays and all that. And I mean, at the time, back in 2003, I know the family were actually very interested in that. They wanted to know that, had a good foundation in terms of fortune telling. But I think, well, the looks of it, that fortune teller isn't here anymore. But again, as usual, I mean, there's such a huge variety of stalls here. You can spend a whole day here and never get bored.
James, you've been living in China for many years, just like me, and I'm guessing you've been to Chongqing and Chengdu as well. Do you have a favorite among the two cities?
I mean, it's a little bit difficult for me to say because I haven't actually been to Chengdu that many times, maybe only a handful, and sometimes only passing through as well. So, for example, I really like the mountains of Western Sichuan. So that's like a really popular self-drive route, and they've got some like really beautiful, ethnic minority towns and villages there. Amazing scenery. So often I maybe go and spend a day in Chengdu one night, and then the next day I go on to my next destination. But I suppose because I've lived in Chongqing so far, kind of most of the past 17 or 18 years now, I'm maybe a little bit biased in that respect. So I mean, I would say Chongqing for me personally, but of course Chengdu, Chongqing are two amazing cities. So whoever is lucky enough to be able to have the opportunity to travel around here, there's definitely two cities that you ought to check out. And again, here's the entrance to Balwin Temple.
Oh, the look is so good. Hang on there 1 second, James. I see the Echo found some pandas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this shop is called Panda House. They sell all kinds of products about panda. Look at this panda doll, panda package, and like this panda slippers. This, can you see? All kinds of panda products. These tea sets are very lovely. Can you see this? It's like chopsticks deck.
Like the things you put next to your plate to hold your chopstick.
Very beautiful. And here is my favorite. Can you see this? Look like a bamboo.
Bamboo, yeah.
Very lovely shop.
Yes,
Selling
very
all kinds
beautiful.
of products about pandas. If you are a panda lover, you definitely would visit here and buy something for yourself and for your family or friends as gifts.
Noelia, are
虽然
you
这里
the
面只能看到熊猫玩偶，大家如果想看活体熊猫的话，可以去到熊猫基地，这
Yeah.
是成都大熊猫繁育研究基地，然后可以看到很多的熊猫幼崽，然后还有大熊猫，对，非常可爱。其实对，其实熊猫的它的一个整体的寿命是大概是25岁到35岁，然后在熊猫基地的话，你可以看到刚出生的一些熊猫，然后乃至几岁或者10多岁的一个熊猫都可以看到。 非常的可爱。其实每一只熊猫它都有不同的一个性格，或者是它有不同的一些长相。然后因为我平常也是在直播这个熊猫直播，所以说的话可能对熊猫的话会比较了解一点。当然大家如果在直播的时候看有什么问题的话，也可以来问我。
好的，So Vivi is the reporter of Cover News, and she is also doing the live stream in the Chengdu Panda base. And she's introducing us the information about the panda base. In there, you can see a panda babies, very lovely panda babies, and she can introduce them for you. Yeah, they have the live stream for
real
pandas.
pandas.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, because Chengdu is home to pandas, and the panda base has like pandas from different ages. And I heard Vivi said like pandas have different like personalities as well. So and Vivi is also giving live streams frequently in this panda base. I think it will be so lovely in the future if we can ask Vivi join more of our live stream, like showing some like the lovely pandas to us even.
Yeah,
we'll just use the
very
panda
interesting.
as a
Noelia,
Sorry,
are
I
you
lost
panda
your
lover?
audios.
Am I what?
Are you a panda lover?
Well, I'm an animal lover. I mean, I love every animal that's in the world. For sure, I love
Me
pandas.
too.
Pandas are very
Me
cute.
too.
And
Me
I've never
too.
seen one. I think I've never seen one in person.
You should definitely come to Chengdu and to visit the Chengdu Panda base. They have.
Now I just have more reasons to go.
Yeah. And in Chongqing, we have a panda. We have a zoo. We have Chongqing Zoo. And then they have pandas there, right?
Yeah, we have pandas at the Chongqing Zoo, and I believe we have the oldest panda.
Yes.
Still.
We have red
Xing.
pandas and blue pandas.
Sorry,
She passed away. That's right. I'm sorry.
Because when I went, I've been to Suzhou's zoo, and they have no panda. I think.
Pandas are like treasures in our country.
Got panda base.
So
Chongqing got like some pandas, like a couple of pandas.
Just a few in the zoo.
But if you are in both places, take chance to visit as well.
Yeah.
James is close to the port of Ciqiu ancient town, because Ciqiu ancient town before was prosperous for porcelain. So there is a port was built very close to next to Ciqiu ancient town, so that they can ship these porcelains to different parts of China. In old time. Here's James. Let's see what's it, James. So you are at the port already, right?
Yeah, so this is where the old port was. Hundreds of years ago, the river was the main form of transportation, kind of in and out of Ciqiu. And you can see the remnants of that. If you take a ferry down the river, let's say from Darjeeling to Jiaojimen, on either sides of the river, you can see a lot of these ports. And some of them are still in use. Some people still use them, and people also go there for fishing as well. But over the last 50 or 60 years, the road infrastructure has improved a lot, and particularly today, it's now very convenient to drive here. So once the river port they stopped they're transporting like porcelain and other goods, Ciqiu really ceased to be like a big major commercial centre. And it was really from maybe the 50s and 60s afterwards that it became a place for preservation and was opened as a tourist area. So if I turn the camera around, you can see one of the main openings here. So it's called Yinglongmen. And that reminds me as well, so the middle character is Long. So Ciqiu, it kind of means like porcelain port, literally. But it also used to have another old name as well. It used to be called Longyin. So Longyin, a bit like Hidden Dragon. So I don't know, Xiao, if you know a bit more about the history before that. Do you know why in the past it was called a Hidden Dragon?
It has something to do with an emperor whose brother usurped him. I can't remember if it was a brother or his uncle that forced the then emperor, to then flee to Longyinzhen. It had a different name before then, but because the emperor was hiding in that town, they changed that name to Longyinzhen, like the Hidden Dragon town, I suppose you could call it.
Yeah,
and that's
time,
how they got its original name. I remember that from one of our travel guide episodes we had to do.
Yeah, we did one like on Tsuchiko ancient time, and we also did one like 5 reasons why Chongqing and Chengdu go great together, like that. So yeah, so come to this part, it's like Chengdu and Chongqing actually got different. It's close, but still these two places got different vibes. Like say in Chengdu, the life pace is slower.
Yeah.
Like people are more chill out. And in Chongqing as well, like their personality is like more honest and straightforward, and the food is spicy and impressive like that. So these two cities really, even it's close, and we share like really similar root of culture in history as well. But still, nowadays when you visit, you can enjoy both sides. Let's say Huanzai Alley, we say it's very commercial, it's very well equipped, everything like very exquisite.
It's a very modern experience somehow, because you still have sort of the old architecture, old things you can see, but it just has a little bit more of a polished feel to it. Whereas Sijiko remains sort of older and original and sort of a little bit more rough. Around the edges,
and I still feel the kind of vibe like traditional history, because Tsuchiko ancient town, the residents still many generations of old residents still live there, you know, like so the atmosphere is kind of different for the two places. Say like, and you have very nicely specialties to bring with you when you visit the both two places as well. And I mean, like Tsuchiko ancient town and Quanta Alley from these two cities are just example, you know, tips of iceberg.
Tips of the iceberg.
Yeah, there are far more, like the Panda base in Chengdu, and there are like very famous street
There's another street in Chengdu that I really like going to. I think it's called Jinli, which for me is like this big open park that is full of ancient buildings and old architecture as well. A photographer's heaven for me. Like I love going through that place.
Yeah. So, like the same in Chongqing, not only the Tsuchiko ancient town, like Noenia's channel, I mean, like Mexican channel, you can watch like the vlogs they made in Chongqing. A very good experience here.
Yeah.
And also, you can go to iChongqing, our channel on YouTube, on Facebook, like this, and check out what Chongqing can offer, like tourism resources. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, if somebody has the opportunity to visit either Chongqing or Chengdu, they should just go for it, because I think every city in China is just amazing, and they have like their own way how they merge the traditional style with the modern style, and that's very popular each city in China. So I think like I felt very special when I went to Chongqing. It must be also super cool when you go to Chengdu.
Seeing these two places next to each other, Noelia, have you seen anything you liked about Chengdu, or something that you would want to see when you get a chance to go?
Chengdu. I have not a lot of knowledge about Chengdu. I mean, I don't know a lot about Chengdu. I know it's a big city as well.
I
know it's also like a very big city.
Yeah, just definitely worth visiting. I think just like a lot of like place you don't know, and it's really good that you go just take the venture and explore them out by yourself. And I believe surprise and interest.
Yeah, of course, I will. Whenever I get the chance.
I have friends in Chengdu, both in Chengdu and in Chongqing, and some of them are foreign, are from other provinces, cities in China. They are not natives in Chengdu or Chongqing, but they both love Chengdu and Chongqing because they think the two cities are very alike. And they love the food here and love the culture here. Especially people in Chengdu and in Chongqing, they were some characters of them are very alike. I think because it's like they are very they have much enthusiasm for visitors. They have created their own lifestyle, and they have their own angles to understand the relationship between people and people to the world. So I think it's very fun and interesting to listen to my friends talking about Chengdu and Chongqing and how they love here and we are very welcome to all our friends and our audience to come to Chengdu and Chongqing.
欢迎大家。
Thank you, Vivi. Thank you. Yeah, Vivi is welcome everybody to go to Chengdu as well. And the same, James and Mikhail and I are on this side. Welcome everybody to Chongqing as well. And Noelia just like can't wait for your vlogs like about Chongqing come out like one by one in next time. Yeah.
We hope you get a chance to come and visit us again in the future. We would love that, and we'll show you around, and maybe we can scoot over to Chengdu for a day.
Yeah, so like we said, as the two mega cities in southwest China, if you travel to China and also even you are in China and travel around, and do check these two big cities out. They have so much. We have so much to offer. Yeah, and also thank you thank you everyone for joining our live stream today. And we have a lot of comments from the fans, from Mexicano in China's channel, from iChongqing channel. Thank you everybody for participating and joining our trip. Like your like and enjoyment of this show is our enthusiasm to keep it on and like that. Yeah, really great thing. Yeah, so everybody maybe just give a thank you, say bye to our audience.
Bye everyone.
Give us a big old wave.
I'll see you next time.
Bye everyone. See you next time.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. See you next time. Bye bye.
See you next time, guys. Thank you.